he has faced a problem while he was working in that industry. He didn't decide to step back and say, okay, let it be. He took a step forward and said, I'll solve this problem, and not only for myself, but for the entire music community. So with a big round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Weiss on the stage, who will talk about frequency.
Do we have the clicker? Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Is it working? Hello? I think this is better. I know it's at the end of the day, after such an amazing panel and other pitches. I won't be long. And while I introduce myself, I want to keep you with a question that you can think about. So in case I do bore you, you have something to think about. I want you to think, what do we long for as humans? Please think about this while I'm introducing myself. So my name is Weiss Abraham. I'm the founder of FrequenC and managing partner at Electron Ventures. I've been in the entertainment industry for over 25 years, where I was a musician, an artist, on the dance floors, a promoter, an investor, and organizer. And at the same time, I continued my career in the field of engineering and master's in engineering, where I continued a career in construction with the family business and then private equity, and then later owning my own venture capital to focus on early stage and tech. But one thing that never left me was the entertainment industry, where I continue with it till today. And at the same time, I saw this industry grow, but at the same time, there was a lot of it that disconnected. There was a big disconnect. And it got me to think, why am I in this? Why am I so into entertainment? And what is music to me? So then I came up and I started thinking long, and that's why I want to ask you guys, what do you long for? What do we long for as humans? Does anyone have a answer? Anyone? Okay. Happiness is important, exactly. But what leads to happiness? And this is what we're going to get to, actually. So to me, I believe that we have a dire need to connect with one another. And it's the primary incentive behind all of this to connect, is entertainment. We go out to meet, you go out to the coffee shops, you go out to the pubs, you go out to restaurants. And I think COVID was a perfect example. When we were isolated, we were going to technology to allow us to connect. And without connection, you feel there's a missing part of you that doesn't allow you to feel good about yourself. So that was the primary focus, where I saw that entertainment is the main reason why it's such a big industry, where people are spending so much, because people want to have fun, and it's for them to keep connecting and improve and enjoying their time together. So how do we connect? We connect through energy, we connect through vibes. You vibe with someone, you connect with someone. What does that lead to? You're on the same frequency with people. And this is what frequency is about. We're focusing on how we connect, how do we improve connection, and how a problem that this industry has been facing for the last maybe 30 years is just getting worse and worse, because so many layers started getting involved in between. And at the end, this is the current state of the industry. You have inefficiencies, lack of transparency. You have scalping, fragmented, upselling, high ticket fees, long queues, profit-driven, and outdated processes. You may ask, what does this all mean? I mean, at the end of the day, you want to go see an artist, and we're a promoter ourselves. We know this. We're trying to get an artist at as low as possible so we can sell tickets at much cheaper prices. We focused on the gap of the problem behind the industry. Fees are getting high. People are getting sold tables that are ridiculous amounts. And at the end, the production value is going down. So we focused on this and said, how do we solve all this? Where do we go about it? It wasn't just an interest. We actually studied the market. Our consulting arm actually did the gap analysis on the whole industry. We spent a year and a half of research and understanding what we're getting into. And the numbers had to make sense for us before we actually continued if it was worth it or not. You have the entertainment industry alone in the US is a $700 billion industry which is continuously growing at a 15% per year. Worldwide is 2.2 trillion and continuing at 18.2%. The metaverse is growing drastically, and it's something that you cannot just ignore. We're not in the business of building a metaverse, but we're in the business of seeing that it's a tool that we should be involved in and have access and give access to the new generation and people that are going to migrate onto it, just like people migrated onto shopping online. People before said, no way we do it. Today, most people are shopping online. So we looked at all the market and how can we look at a 360 approach and link it all together. We can't just take one part of the problem because you're going to just be focusing on one. You have to look at the whole industry. It's completely fragmented. No one's doing anything about it. Artists are focused on being artists. Agencies are enjoying their high fees because they're on top of the game, record labels. And at the end, you're paying, no reward system, no value, you're just spending. So what do we do about it? We focused on how do we improve connection, our 3 pillars: connection, process improvement, and ultimately the rewards behind it, which I'll continue in detail. So to give you a brief explanation on the industry and how it works, you have the agents that own the artists who then are being promoted to the festival owners, to the events, to the clubs, and of course the promoters and the influencers later that are pushing to get the sales up. So for us, we said all this fluff in between, how do we make this seamlessly? Why are there so many people in the middle? The promoters are lying to the agents, telling them we're only going to have 1,000 people attend. The agents know this, so they say, let's jack up the prices because we don't know what the real numbers are going to be. And there's too much fluff, a lot of inaccuracy. But with smart contracts, with blockchain today, you can easily have, in the push of a button, the minute someone buys a ticket, all the money and the proceeds can go to the investors, to the artists, to the promoters, to the agents, without any banks, without any middlemen in between, no brokers, no nothing. Technology will essentially replace the whole process. And we focused on this because we're in this industry. We've seen it. I mean, the UAE has the highest paid artists in the world. An artist that would be paid $20,000 outside in Europe gets paid $100,000 to $150,000 in the UAE and in the Middle East. Why? Because more brokers came in the middle. More people are benefiting, and there's a lot more hype and monopoly. But when you have technology in the middle, there's a market price for everything. And people can be, whatever you want can be done. There's accuracy. The agencies will actually know exactly how many people attended your event. At the same time, ticketing will become NFTs. You can actually be an investor at the same time as a party goer if the promoter wishes so, because they don't have the cash flow to allow that. So with technology, we can have all this process done, resolves all the problems, and also scalping will be a thing of the past. There will not be, for example, you can go, I'm going to give you an example from this summer. Burning Man tickets. They get sold for $450. Online, they're being sold for $2,000 because people are buying them and they're upselling and upselling. You lose value. You pay so much for something, and then you're like, was it really worth it? Because I paid so much. You can't. With our product, all the tickets will have to be resold at market price, regulated, controlled. You eliminate, so we actually focused on the problem of the industry and then use the technology, the smart contracts, the blockchains, the tokens as a mean to get us to where we want to. So is it really worth it? Yes. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars that are lost due to inefficiencies. And this is what we're focusing on. So after process improvement, we figured, so we have the metaverse today. Why are we not tapping into it? Why are we only focusing on events in a club or in a venue while I could be streaming it at the same exact time in the metaverse, in the Web 2, and generating revenue? You can generate revenue from the same event, and at the same moment that you're generating that revenue, it's going to be given to the artist, to the promoters, and to the agencies immediately. No human interaction. And this is what we're focusing on. How to capitalize on the metaverse as a tool, not that we're shifting over to the metaverse. No, We are balanced with both. It's a tool, and there's a lot of fun stuff that can be done in the real world with augmented reality. People in the metaverse can communicate to people in the event at the same time. So using technology as a tool, not as something to replace reality. And this is something that we'll be able to do. At the same time, when you have mass numbers, you actually are focusing on building a proper social network that allows us to connect people because they're on the same frequency, they're at the same venue. How can I connect with you? I lost my friend here, let me meet someone else. I'm at a festival, you know, I want to meet other people that are vibing on my frequency. You go and you can match, whether you're matchmaking as friends, lovers, communities, it's endless once you have a community, rather than being on Tinder or on Bumble and you're just swiping without knowing anything about the person. Actually, this is a community that you're building at the same time. And then we gamified reality. Why should we only gamify the metaverse and VR? We came up with beats, you know, burn to earn. A lot of you have heard that already. You're burning to earn. You explore to earn. At a venue, they tell you, come out here and get a free drink. So advertisers can come in on board with this. We're trying to get the real value, using technology again to give us a better experience in the entertainment world, whether you're at a venue, at a club, at a festival, anywhere. There's also these events that you have costumes. We'll be able to take a picture, put it on, and then win something at the end. And then above all, we focused on the reward program. We came up with something that I've been thinking for over 20 years. Why don't I ever get miles for partying? So we came up with party to earn. And then promoters said, wait, we want to make money too. So promote to earn for influencers, promoters of the events. This is the value that we need to get to the people. The lost money that's in between should come back down to the users, to the people that are actually coming and attending. And this is something that we are pushing for. And this is where the rewards is. This is where the real value is. So just like frequent flyer miles, you should be getting them for what you spend when you're actually spending on entertainment, which is probably the most amount of money that you spend statistically on anything is on your F&B and your entertainment more than anything, because it's upright already very expensive as is. This is where we would be giving back rewards. And what makes all of this work? Yes, we actually did have to go and build our own token for the whole ecosystem to work. Not because we needed a token, but because we want seamless payments. When a promoter books an artist, to the minute it goes to the agency, to the minute you pay for a ticket, all the money will go to everyone in a split of a second. No banks, no involvement. We don't need a utility to be pumped. We need a token to simply allow the payment platform to pay everyone and have traceability and track. And at the same time, the artists will be able to see their dashboard, see what has come in for them, their revenue, their statistics, how many viewers, how many attendees. This is all powerful information that the agencies, and the promoters all can have now in the click of a button. So we're actually focused on a problem and not just an idea. Solving the problem using the rest of the technology, be it metaverse, blockchain, and tokens, to allow the ecosystem to work. And with that said, I'd like to have a quick introduction to our valuable team. Our team's all over, between Lebanon, Saudi, Dubai, India, and then some key people that, you know, you may have an idea in the back of your head. And being on the VC side, we always like to test a pitch through many people, and to have a key advisors with you. I'm very happy to have really with us someone special to me, Mr. Ronaldo Mushawar, who was the founder of Souk.com and still the VP of Amazon today, who actually said, you know what, this is one hell of an idea. You're solving a problem. You're not just coming up with an idea. Make this happen. So this is really one of the key. We have Amrita, who's one of the key people in the industry here with NFTs. We have Rohit Bafna, who's actually one of the first people to sell a loyalty program back in the early 90s to Singapore Air, and still working today with one of the biggest leading airline companies on their reward program. Our partners, a big thank you, honestly, to TDeFi, who we met briefly at a random event. We fell in love with each other. And they said, listen, so many people pitched to us. Just talking to you, I feel like we need to work together. And then he's like, what are you guys working on? And Gaurav was like, you have to come on board with us. And that was history. So big thanks to TDeFi for making a lot of things happen. They're really pushing on the tokenomics and many, many things with us that are making life so much easier for us. So big thanks to you guys. Bonus, our partner, is Base Alpha. And I want to end it with, I really hope we're all meeting on the same frequency. If you have any questions, please do ask. Thank you.